Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Elk Lodge podcast. You might notice my position is unique.
It is a little unique
as compared
New
to the
York.
rest of the episodes.
Why don't you tell us about those shorts?
Yeah, I'm sporting some shorts.
Some sports shorts.
By Valley Heat. On Instagram, that's at Valley Heat Official. They are, or no. Or is it official Valley Heat? Shit, I just looked it up.
It was official at the end.
Okay, at Valley Heat Official.
Yeah.
It's dead fabrics, which means it's fabric that was made in the 80s, just never got used. And now they're using it, they're making shorts. And the maker of those shorts is Steve Heiss, our guest today. Christine, what did you think about Steve Heiss?
Oh, it was a sweet, lovely visit with him. We're good friends now, and you're going to love him too. You'll be fast friends as well.
But before that, we just want to remind you that this show is brought to you by Hexa Coffee, the greatest coffee on the planet. We love it. It's all we drink. And if you live in Chicago, you can go to their cafe in Roscoe Village, or you could order Hexa Coffee online at hexacoffee.com. That's HEXE coffee.com. And when you do that, use the promo code ELK. You'll get 10% off of your purchase.
You're just so good at it.
Imagine that. I can't believe we're doing this in one take. This was good. All right.
Enjoy the episode with Steve Heiss. Yeah.
You know what do the lights do?
We look less like old hag.
The lights
make it spooky.
You know, they make you look good, less like one of your collectibles.
You do like a witch's brew here in the middle.
Well, we could do a
We really
spooky
do.
episode like for Halloween one time. Our sponsor, Hexa Coffee, is kind of spooky.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, if you look, that's their coffee cup.
that
This
is kind
the
of
cup.
spooky.
It
What
is
is
spooky, right?
what is that
It's
monster?
the behemoth. I don't know.
Behemoth, huh?
That's what they call that one. It's
He's a
got
monster.
berry, fruity, and chocolate notes.
That's a large monster, a behemoth of a
a
monster.
behemoth. Yeah, I think that means
Behemoth
large.
or behemoth?
I don't think-
Behemoth.
I feel like a behemoth would be like the boho
B-E-H-E-M-O-Th.
version. He likes to eat.
Oh, the boho,
Nuts and-
the boho myth. Yeah, he's like
I just-
draped like tapestries and stuff. Is that boho? What boho? Like boho
Yeah, like-
chic? Yeah, like tapestries.
Yeah,
That's-
tapestries and earthy kind of.
Yeah. No, I think I don't know if there's a creature called a behemoth. I have this gum I gotta get rid of.
I don't feel like there is.
I
I
think
don't think there is. I think it's an adjective to
It's an
describe
adjective.
beasts, commonly used to describe beasts.
A large ass beast.
a
Yeah.
large ass beast
Large ass beast.
like this, and it's some good ass coffee. Let me tell you,
Is it?
it really is.
Does
It's
it get
good.
you going?
It gets me going. It gets me zippy.
I got to be honest. I cannot. I'm not. I feel like I could be the connoisseur to let you know which ones get you going, taste wise.
Like a coffee connoisseur.
Like if there were a way of rating taste, like there's got to be, right? Taste. It's all based off taste, but I'd be like, but it really gets you going. Like,
Well, what you think you could tell by taste the caffeine?
no, but I would
effect?
tell you which ones are like, I skipped my Adderall that day.
Right, you could be like a coffee sommelier,
But only based on
only based on whether or not you took Adderall that day. It's like an Adderall scale. Like the rating is
I like it, yeah.
3 Adderalls. That means 3 days you didn't have to take Adderall.
I love if these guys are listening. They're like, yeah, we just put on there the milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah,
That's-
we actually
commonly
we
referred
checked.
to as
yeah,
We pay for a
milligrams.
company
it's called
to.
science,
Yeah.
and it's
It's confirmed.
They figured it
But
out.
let me make sure that this camera is okay.
it's not a subjective thing. What's that?
He's trying new angles today.
Slightly new angles.
Coming at us from a whole new way.
I always feel like earphones put a lot of pressure on this part of my.
Face?
Does that feel weird to you guys?
I don't know. I get a lot of headaches, so maybe.
Like if someone came up behind me, like the Spock move, if someone came up behind me and like put pressure right there, I'd
go
be like,
down.
"Ah!" I would die.
Huh?
Right?
Is that the
At
choke out point? Like, is that where you're like?
I'm talking like right at the bottom of where the earphones are touching.
Oh, just
Right?
literally right there.
yeah,
The
right
jaw.
where
Push
the
hard.
jaw meets the neck.
Does that feel weird if you put pressure
Doesn't
there?
feel great, yeah.
It doesn't feel good. Yeah, it's like
Well, actually, kind of
muscles
does
that
for me
hide
'cause
behind
they're
the
tense.
jawbones. A little bit.
I have TMJ. My jaw gets all tense, and then if I get stressed, just radiates up and out of the jaw.
Concentrates
Into
into
the
the
cheek.
jaw.
It goes up from the jaw.
It goes like up,
Into the forehead?
down, left, right, from
goes
the
everywhere.
jaw. Yeah. But like that point, I'm with you. It's not a good point to have shit.
Do you not want to wear the headphones?
He's boycotting him.
What if I did go without the headphones?
I'd be a little upset.
Would it not be the right look for
No,
the
I don't care.
professional?
You can take them off.
No, I'm gonna wear them.
All right, cool.
Feels really cool to
It feels cool, yeah.
hear my voice
Don't you
like
feel
Yeah,
in
stay
it?
right up on that thing. It sounds
No,
even
I'm
better.
telling you, I have to say, when I can hear my voice like this, no, I feel like I might be into like, what's that called? You know,
ASMR.
for my own voice.
For yourself.
I'd be like,
If you could do ASMR,
Oh, it's like-
ASMR, what would you do? What videos would you want to hear?
I feel like some mustache scratching you could do.
That's a
I'm
good
going to
one.
scratch my mustache on the microphone.
I don't know.
I would want like the brushing of grasses or something.
See, I like.
What would I enjoy or what would I
Like
perform?
I guess what would you what would you want to perform?
I would do like little squeaky farts. The subtlest farts. You know when it's just an air fart? You know, like I would do those.
My farts always are.
What do you mean?
It's like a little pop.
You have no sphincter control?
Consistently.
It always if I fart, because I don't ever fart, but if I do,
It's the same sound.
it's the sound of a door closing.
That doesn't. That's
It's like a little pop. A little.
yeah. That's like a weed, an old like weed plastic thing being opened. You know, you'd squeeze it and it pops
That's
open.
exactly what it sounds like.
That's the
It's
sound of your
never
fart.
aggressive. It's not like even if I push, it's like
Mine sort of sound like an elephant swallowed a tiger, and it's in there and it's pissed. And it's
Not
like,
always that aggressive.
and it's like dripping wet and hot.
oh really?
No,
I think that's a very sloppy
but they're
description.
farty. They get pretty heavy. I
I
farted
love
one
when I get
time.
a
You
good
don't
one
hear
like
me
that.
arguing with that. I just
Yeah. I farted one time, like, and like, it was just like, wow. Like you were there. I was like, I think that was the fart of the year. Because it was
Really?
just such a good, it was like
Yeah.
cartoony, like
Cartoony, yeah.
it had a beginning, middle, and end.
Ah, right.
You know, like
And
it
an
was
apex.
the full, yeah.
I,
It
what
really
I
did.
what I love
Decrescendo.
about this
Transient.
situation is that he always looks to see if I've processed it. So he'll be like in the kitchen, and then I'll just see his head like kind of
Yeah, by
dart
fart, I just like
over,
peek out.
and
Like,
then he's like,
I don't say a word?
No, he'll usually say, "Did you hear? I think I heard something. Oh, what?
I'm sorry.
What?
You said something.
Yeah.
But I know
So
she
it's-
heard it.
I would love if he would just awkwardly stare at her. Just
See if when I crack.
and not say a fucking word.
Just hold it. Just stare till she smells it.
I'm like almost always quiet. No
Farts.
sound.
when you fart.
Soundless.
No sound.
ASMR farts. ASM farts are.
And so then I feel
farts.
particularly like deceived if it does make a sound because I'm, counting on it not to.
You're betrayed by your
I'm
body.
betrayed. Yeah. Any sound means betrayal to me.
Do you ever smell my farts though? I feel like I
really don't.
I've successfully hid the smell
Yeah.
I'm-
through our whole relationship. Honestly, our whole life because we've been friends forever. And have you
It's
ever felt
really
smell my
true.
farts?
No.
Silent but deadly.
Oh, sure, it happens.
If you can't hear
I
it,
think you're right. I think you're right about that.
well, it's
what
not
is that?
always.
Why is that true? It's
No, that's no.
I
Silent
rarely
farts
hear a
aren't
fart
always.
and smell it.
Oh,
It's like the sound. It's like the speed of sound or something. The speed of smell.
the speed of smell. Right. If it's quieter, that's because it was going so fast
Yeah.
that it couldn't make a sound, or you couldn't even hear it. Like it got to you before the sound got to you. It was faster than the
That's
speed of
what
sound.
I'm saying. Of smell, yes. It's you're like, oh, what is happening? And then by the
Right.
time it makes a noise, you're already fucking distracted by the smell.
It's like lightning. How like
You're
the
right.
lightning strikes, then the thunder. That's a lightning
yeah.
fart.
Ah, right, lightning farts.
But sometimes my loud farts
Classic
smell bad,
lightning
and sometimes my
so
my
glad we're
silent
starting
ones
off on
don't.
I
this.
feel like mine always smell bad.
I mean, mine never smelled great.
Well, he didn't respond.
I've
to
never
that.
smelled her farts either. There's been
We keep it kind of locked up. We keep things to burn in the bathroom, just light a little
yeah.
Palo
Yeah,
Santo,
Palo
a little
Santo.
something.
But nobody's carrying around Palo Santo.
This
every
guy
time.
is.
You got a little stick in your pocket
some
with
portable shit up his sleeve.
It's like a little case I open up.
That would be great. Yeah, like if
fart
somebody
kit.
was like, "Sorry guys," and then he's and like lights the pallet. You're like, "Damn, this guy's really."
Like a professional.
Because I don't want you to bottle it up. That makes me feel
you pack
uncomfortable.
it in,
I want
you
you to
pack
let
it
it
out.
out, but you took care of
Handle
it.
it.
Yeah.
Like a gentleman.
You pack it in, you pack it out.
Because it's like people burp and you could just go like, excuse me, you know?
Right.
But a fart is kind of a different level.
Yeah.
But if you, that's the excuse me for the fart is the.
And you can swallow
Palo
burps.
You can't
Can't swallow a fart.
drink up those
You
farts.
can swallow. I feel like that's a thing people don't know how to do, but you can do it and not have it be like a problem. You know, like you go and just suck it in. If you're on a date,
You do that?
fuck yeah.
You kind of let it out quick and just take it right back. Slurp it up, huh?
Hold it like a joint.
That- I respect
Do a
it.
little and just hold it, and then
And
let
like,
it out.
hopefully it's while
slowly.
she's talking and you're like, she's like, he's such a good listener. You know,
And then
you're
they're just like, I don't know why I don't like this guy, and it's because there was such a tiny hint of something that didn't smell right.
or maybe just didn't feel right because you were there the whole time like,
Getting high off your own burps.
yeah,
Yeah.
breath work.
It's very courteous to consume that gas back.
You can also burp into your shirt, you know, which is nice. Like a burp doesn't have to be
Or
like,
like
like you can let it just
Into
come
the
out
shoulder
your
like a
nose.
cough.
And I kind of buried in my shirt. But if you fart in your shirt, it's getting out. It's like COVID,
That's
you know,
a
like the
bit-
mask isn't going to help.
That's a bit aggressive.
You don't burp into your shirt?
Is that a thing?
I burp into my shirt all the time. I sneeze into my shirt too. I sneeze like that.
I do it on my shoulder.
I really did.
I don't even understand.
Now I'm doing it.
You're breathing in from there. You let it out, you stored it, and then you went back for
I
it.
smelled my chest. It
How's it smell?
smells good.
I've got the damn tea thing again.
Tea kettle.
For people listening, that's our tea kettle. It's electric and it heats itself up. So you came from work. Mm-hmm. You're still working at the store?
I am. Not the
For people
store.
listening,
Yeah. Can I plug the store that I work at?
yes,
Sunbeam
later. No, no, I'm just kidding. Sunbeam
Vintage.
Vintage in Los Angeles, like Silver Lake?
Highland Park.
Highland Park.
That's where I work.
Sunbeam.
I don't own the place, but I run the place.
Can't believe
Whoa.
I haven't been in yet.
You come in, you mentioned you heard me on this podcast. I'll hook you up.
All right, I'm gonna do that.
You need some
Cool.
home furnishings. You need some decor. I got you.
Is there a specialty? Do you guys source a certain type of thing or all
Kind of everything.
a little bit of everything?
Yeah, we got got a little postmodern. Is what everybody seems to be into these days.
And what's the difference between that and mid-century? Which came first?
Which
Makes sense.
Well, I mean, was the middle of the century or was that
Or
pre-modern or
postmodern.
when did modern
Mid-modern
happen?
or postmodern? What
Yeah.
do you think?
Mid-century,
Modern.
post-modern. But for all I know, mid-century could have came after postmodern. When was modern?
Well, they usually another way to say that term would be like mid-century modern.
Oh, see, that I never heard.
Oh, really?
I was just the mover. Wait, so I met you when JC and I worked at a furniture store.
Yes, let's
which
talk about
We've
this.
talked about, or people, that's sort of in our lore, that we used to work at a furniture store.
Yeah.
And we met Steve there, and we didn't like you, and you didn't like us. Or did
I
you
didn't
like
dislike
us?
you guys.
You didn't
No.
respect us. Or
I
you
just-
thought
You
we
guys
were
probably-
very young.
You burped a lot, and he was like, "What the fuck?"
He was like, swallow that. No, I guess, so there was we didn't like Steve. We were like, Steve, you know.
See, and that hurts my feelings that you guys didn't like me.
Well,
I didn't
hold
know
on.
that. Okay.
Because
I'm
then one day you were just like,
just, because you just assume that everybody likes you.
I sure do.
I do.
Well, but
Yeah.
one day you were like, we were just talking. We started working
Yeah.
more and more. And then you're like, wait, how old are you guys? And we were like, I'm like 26. He's 27, 28. And you're like, oh, I thought you guys were like 19 or 20. Like, I probably have been talking to you like you're little kids.
I was.
And we were like, well, wait, how old are you? And you're like, I'm like 48 or what? No, I'm just kidding.
48.
I'm just kidding.
I was probably like 35 or
So
something.
we thought you were like pretty much our age. We figured you were like 30,
Yeah.
but you thought we were like 19. So anyway, it was just like It was,
And I immediately was embarrassed. I feel like my face turned red. Like I was really embarrassed. I was like, oh, I've been ordering you guys around like you're just little,
But you were really open about it. You said it, which is something
did.
I appreciate about you. You're not one to keep like, oh, that was rude of me. You don't. Sometimes I feel like that, but I don't say it out loud. I just go, oh, that was rude.
Right.
But you called yourself out. It was.
Yeah.
I liked it. And ever since then, I really liked you. And then we went and saw your comedy at the Comedy Store.
This is
Steve
true.
kind of got me into stand-up. The only time I've done stand-up is with Steve.
He was
the only
great.
time
Other Steves.
anymore.
Other Steves now, but yeah.
Yeah.
He was really funny.
He is funny.
But yeah, we went and saw
he
Steve at
is
the Comedy
really
Store.
funny.
We loved it.
But he was that night. He was on.
No, he was-
I'm amazed that like he's comfortable up there, which goes a long way.
Not
Oh, yeah.
a lot
Christine?
phases Paul.
I know.
He's pretty comfortable.
It's
in those
wild though to
situations.
be on stage in that situation. It's so vulnerable. I mean, I think fear of public speaking is like the number one fear. People fear it more than death.
Right, that's what Jerry Seinfeld said, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. According to Jerry,
Yeah.
But you're
They
smooth
haven't done
up
studies
there.
on that?
I'm sure they have. He probably was quoting a study, but I'm quoting it when he says it on the show in his like stand-up in the beginning
Right.
or it's some kind of bit of his. But yeah, we saw you at the Comedy Store, and when we went, we were like, this will go one of two ways. Either way, we're having a good time.
Yeah.
Either Steve is going to be
Drink that
great.
shit. Drink it.
Oh, I just burped, huh?
Yeah.
I was like, either Steve will be great, and
we
then
had
that's
we
funny.
had a moment where we were like, we didn't
You're not gonna-
missed
you're not gonna-
opportunity over here.
I didn't even realize I
talked
burped.
about it.
I didn't even realize I burped. Or Steve was going to do really bad, which would also be really funny. But you were really good. You
Thank
killed
you.
us, yeah.
Thank
and
you.
like Joey was with us. We were laughing.
Joey
How'd
was
you-
there?
I feel like he was, or maybe I'm thinking of a different show.
Wait,
when we first saw
Joey-
Theo Vaughn. No, because you either never met Joey or only just finally eventually met Joey.
Okay.
So how'd you get into stand up?
I had a friend that told me about like a class that they took. I can't talk into this mic without feeling like I'm trying to sound sexy.
I mean,
So just
you're
keep
succeeding.
trying.
You got a
I'm
good
trying,
radio
I'm
voice.
Trying and succeeding, buddy.
How did I get into stand up?
Yeah.
How I got into stand up.
Talk to me about it. Took a class.
Took a
All
class.
started with a class.
What kind of class was this?
I took a class and I basically, it was funny because when I took the class, I was like, cool, this is going to be good. I'll take a class. I'm going to learn a thing or two. And like basically the teacher was like, yeah, just write about experiences. And we're like, but like jokes in those experiences? Like, what do you mean?
Uh-huh.
Everybody was confused. And then she literally never told us to write jokes. But then, yeah, so then we all wrote about our experiences and then she wanted us to workshop. And that's, I think, where I kind of like found my comedic kind of, I really enjoy workshopping. And I found that like everybody in the class wanted to workshop with me. So it gave me more confidence feeling like, yeah, like I feel like I'm good at yes-anding, I guess. You know what I mean? Like I can really talk about something and someone's like, and they're telling a story and I'm like, so wait, what's what's the funny part, you know? And then you kind of figure it out. You kind of tease it out. And yeah, so then I took this class and then I'm embarrassed to say this because I feel like everybody does this now in LA. And then you go to this like, you do a graduation show and you invite all your friends and family. They all come out. I invited one friend because I was so terrified.
Chick or dude?
Dude and his girlfriend. So one friend with
Plus one.
two friends.
Two friends.
No, no, she was my friend too. I should
Okay.
have said I invited two friends. But and my girlfriend at the time. I'm sorry.
Three friends.
The list
One turned
keeps
into three.
growing.
He's like, okay, and my 8 cousins. But
Yeah, and it went better than I thought. You know, I was like surprised.
like you got laughs, you felt good.
I felt comfortable because you just kind of like psych yourself out and just say, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna go for it and be myself." You know.
But were you always you're pretty comfortable socially. Were you always pretty comfortable in a social situation?
Yeah,
Because you were
but
like a
mic is
salesman
different.
and you were
But
like,
a mic's different.
Of course,
It does
it's
change
different.
things.
But it's not like you were some introvert that's like afraid to talk to people. and then you went up and did it. Like, it makes sense to me that you'd be comfortable at least giving a speech somewhere, you know, like at a wedding.
Even that.
What was funny in your house? Like, what was humor like in your house growing up? People, any funny people?
No.
Just you. Lone
grew up-
comic.
I feel like right now that you realize, okay, there's nothing
I'm like-
funny happening right now. What are
What's a funny thing you can talk about?
No, I just meant like.
She just means like, where's the humor come from?
Yeah.
'Cause, like, you know,
No, but, like-
my family's funny.
I'm a pure like slapstick humor person.
Really?
Always since I was little. Like I'm just a sucker for the
Steve grew
low
up-
hanging fruit. Like obsessed.
Yes.
Easy.
Steve grew up very religious.
Mormon?
Mormon. Humor is a sin. No, I'm just kidding. Mormons can be funny.
Yeah, totally. But
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 was
they
your house
weren't.
was your house
no loud
humorous or
laughter.
serious?
No. You're allowed to suck it in.
It's like the laughter in.
No, but you could be funny, but it was like, I don't know. I don't know. I think for me, comedy was more, it was more of a, a way of kind of dealing with some heavy shit growing up, really kind of Mormon. And my parents are great. It's nothing against them, but I feel like I was a little bit sucked into a cult, which I think most people in religion are. I think Mormonism was probably so intense that I realize more than most that it's like one big conspiracy theory. Like now with QAnon and everything that's been happening, I'm like, yeah, it's no different than any religion, really. Christianity, name it. I mean, I hope I don't offend anyone, but I really don't care at the same time. I just think it's all kind of bullshit.
Because
And-
like you're hooked in on a philosophy and like,
I tend to agree for the record.
yeah, me too. And like, I'm just trying to clarify what you mean. Like, you're sort of being told like, here's the answer. Like we're all looking for answers. Like here's an answer and here's something you can sort of follow. Like it's a direction, or like what makes it so similar to,
Well, because like
it's something to belong to.
I mean, if you actually, and
Well,
here's
there's
the-
like a code of conduct and
if you actually talk to someone who claims to be the thing that they think they are, like, I'm Christian. It's like, okay, cool. Let's talk about it. So you believe that Jesus Christ died on the cross. Yep. Okay. And that he was resurrected. Yeah. So like he like rose from the dead. And yeah. Okay. And like you believe that like he's like was born of God, like his mother was a virgin. Like you believe all this stuff. Like you believe all this like non-scientific stuff. And most of them are like, well, if they start saying like it's allegorical, I'm like, fine. If it's like that, great.
Right.
But
Like,
if
I
you
just, like-
believe it literally, then I'm like, you believe some crazy shit. Like no different than
the QAnon.
QAnon.
Yeah, I agree
Literally,
with you.
no different.
Yeah, it is. Some
Yeah.
And if
crazy
your
shit.
mind is gonna go for that, it's gonna very easily go for any other bullshit.
Well, I mean, that's kind of where religion was introduced in the first place, like to pacify people who were unsettled and uneasy and to give them stability so that they would.
It's a political.
That's a political.
Ultimately, it's a political
Yeah.
tool. Yeah, to get people to
At
fall in line.
its, I mean, at its most cynical.
Yeah, I don't think it started as a tool.
True.
I bet it started.
I think the placebo effect is real with religion. That's the thing. That's where it becomes really gray. Sorry.
It's okay.
To interrupt.
But yes, I agree with you. I think it started like, when we're like tribes of 20 people, like, you worship, you're just looking for like some understanding. Like I bet religion started really purely as like the
I
sun.
can't help but laughing that we started with like burps and farts.
Farts.
And
Now we're talking about, yeah, that's true.
anyway, go on. Sorry.
No, but like, worshiping like the sun
Yeah,
or things
we
like
had
that.
no
Like
answers.
and I bet someone at some point figured out like, whoa, like there's a lot of power here that we all of a sudden have.
In
And now let's
Christianity
exploit
too,
it.
because they made their God like powerful and vengeful, and they were motivating people to behave
Yeah.
a certain way
Yes.
by instilling a fear of God into them.
Yeah.
That's a problem
And it's
when you're
common
like
to anthropomorphize anything,
Yeah.
whether
Great
it's
word.
God or whether it's anything. So, of course, we're going to create some metaphorical meaning that's closest to what is us and the way we act.
Right.
You know, so, but
And like calendar holidays make sense. Like you said, like timing of the year, or harvest celebrations, like those
Right,
things.
right,
It
right.
makes sense that we flocked to them over time. But
and as an Aquarian, I just can't believe in that shit.
Aquarius.
Aquarius and
That's so funny. Yeah. Astrology is like almost
you
dumber.
have no faith in that whatsoever.
No, just like I don't believe that
I don't believe-
that God like impregnated the Virgin Mary.
Well, I don't believe that either, but I do like reading a horoscope every now and then.
Well, I like
It's
listening
not
to
like
Christian
I
talk
believe
radio.
it so much.
you like listening to Christian talk radio?
Sometimes.
For why?
For what reason?
So if I'm on like a long drive, I'll throw on some Christian talk radio.
Do you yell and heckle at it? Because that's
No, I mean I dissect it piece by piece. It's like very engaging.
What are you dissecting? You might as well listen to like Star Trek
No, every now and then.
radio.
Well,
if there were
yeah.
people talking about like, you know, deep, like, you know, people that are like really into, I don't know, Harry Potter or Star Trek or Dune. I don't know. It's the same thing.
Correct. And every now and then you'll hear something that's like, oh wow, I like that. That I like. Maybe
Well,
maybe it's like
that's
something
fair.
just a simple moral,
That's
a simple
true.
thing, and so like it's just engaging to listen to it and like put it through your filter and just take it
Oh,
piece
man.
by piece and go bullshit, bullshit. Oh,
Paul,
I like
that's
that.
why I love Paul.
Bullshit,
I know. It
bullshit.
It really is. He's
just
such
when
a
my
sweet
heart's
human.
getting twisted and black, he comes around.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Pump some blood in there.
That's
But when
your,
it hits you and it feels nice, it does feel good. You know, like
'Cause
I grew
when-
up in the church, and some of it
when you say
I like.
the church, which
Going
is
to
funny
church.
because that's what
I
everybody
grew up
says.
in the church. Yeah, that's like a saying.
But that's what everybody says about the church they grew up in. Like, I grew up in the church. Like, which church?
Yeah, yeah. No, I just grew up going to church, Lutheran church.
Lutheran.
So a little more lax. It was in the woods, but still spewing the same bullshit. It
What does that mean in the woods?
was in the woods. It was a church in the
It's
woods.
a nice church. It's well forested.
It's in the forest, kind of.
Does that mean it's like a little more
Hippie?
hippie?
Nah, it's
No.
just. I'm just painting a picture.
Okay.
It wasn't
the
like
woods.
the Catholic church that's
It wasn't like
got no
inner city
trees.
intensity. It was in the woods.
It was in the woods.
Okay.
It was pretty mellow. But yeah, but I mean, they say the same silly shit about
Right.
God impregnating a virgin. But there's also good. There's good in there too.
every once in a while I stumble across those radio stations and I heckle a lot.
Yeah.
I yell a lot before changing. The
I guess
But try and listen for.
that's not a bad
They're not
point.
incapable
Try-
of saying something that is true.
That's not a
Yeah,
bad
And I
point.
think it's bad.
It's like
Ugh.
saying, or do you
Hate
like
it.
fiction? If you like fiction, because there are clearly many, life lessons to be learned and inspiration to be gained
Yeah, exactly.
from some fictional story.
It's even a smart exercise to not just dismiss something completely. Like just because it's a Christian talk radio station doesn't mean they can't say something that is correct and makes sense and that you agree with. And it's a good exercise for anything. Nobody's going to like this, but it's the same like with the Donald Trump speech.
Whoa, wait, what?
If like, to
Careful,
just
where are we
say,
going?
no matter what you say, I disagree. I think that's a foolish way to live your
right.
life.
That's a good point.
Versus he could say like, hey, don't trust big media. Okay, I agree with that. I don't trust the big media.
But I don't agree when Donald Trump says it because
But
he's
why?
talking about the wrong big media.
Nah, I mean, but that's just an example. But I think in general, it's
Yeah.
good to not just dismiss a source at whole. Take it bit by bit.
That's fair. That's
Yeah,
fair.
And try
I'm
to.
not gonna argue you there.
All right. Anyway, so you grew up Mormon. Well, like, are those fond memories going to church?
Yeah.
It's a lot of like playing and
I mean,
Play
because
basketball.
I
TK.
hated-
We just had TK on.
I
Yeah, we had-
hated going to church. I hated it.
In Oregon. This was
Washington
Washington.
and California. I grew up in California and Washington.
You were going to church every Sunday, or like this is a daily thing, or what? Every
Yeah,
Sunday.
Every Sunday. My parents told me that I could either go to church, which my parents are more, I feel like, evolved the most. They were like, either you go to church or we would like you to spend this time studying spiritual things. Other religions, that's fine. Go to another church if you want, but we want Sunday to be
respect
like
that.
a spiritual day.
But you chose church.
Because I was lazy.
Right. You're like, you're going
I was
already.
like, fine.
I'll just go where you're going.
This was before Wikipedia. I would have been like, yeah, give me the internet. I'll fucking,
Right. I'll just Google like other church.
Yeah. I remember one time getting an encyclopedia and be like, I'm staying home and I'm going to research like.
That's cute.
Were there any
Figure
parts
out
that
what
lasted one?
Judaism is. You're like, what?
Yeah.
I've never heard of this thing. In
I thought
Washington.
I thought that was really great of them to say that though.
super
That's
cool?
really cool.
Super
And I was
cool.
smart enough to say like, why are you forcing me to, I was like fucking with them. I was like, I don't want to go to church. Why do I have to go to church?
You did the pushback.
And they were like, okay, fine. Then can you do something spiritual?
Were you like rebellious in other areas too, like about school, anything like that growing up, or you just saved it for
I went through
raising hell in church?
I went through a rebellious phase. Like I remember, so this is in 90. I was like in high school in like the 90s. So like smoking pot was like not crazy. Like a lot of people smoke pot, but it wasn't like now.
Right. It was a bigger deal. It was drugs.
Yeah, like I thought the first time I smoked pot, I loved it so much. I was like, oh my God, I'm an addict. Like I was like really scared because I loved it. And then I started going to NA like immediately.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
How old were you when you first smoked weed?
Like 15.
Wow. So after the first time you smoked weed, you started going to
Okay,
Narcotics
that
Anonymous.
was a little
You're
bit.
just
Okay,
like,
that was a
I
bit.
just saw
All
my
right.
whole future flash before me.
Yeah.
No,
Sitting
but I
in the
did
gutter.
I really did like 2 years later.
Went to
When I
NA.
was 17, I went to NA because my friend, he and I were doing acid, and he took too much, and he had a heart murmur, and like the paramedics had to come, and he had to go to the hospital,
Whoa.
and it was a whole thing. And I remember going to the hospital and his mom being there, and I'm like really high on acid. We got this acid from these guys in Seattle downtown, from these like older guys, we're in high school. And they're like, don't take more than one hit. And we're like, And of course we like, took 2 or 3. I don't know.
Because you're pros.
Because we were like, whatever.
You weighed all of 90 pounds.
Yeah. And his mom was bawling and was like hitting me on the chest. Like, why do you do this to yourselves?
Oof.
He had a problem though. So he went to inpatient rehab. And then I took a typing class in high school. This is how old I am.
We took typing classes.
Really?
We did in middle school, yeah.
Junior high.
Yeah.
But this was before like the internet. I took a typing class. So they were like,
Typewriter?
to learn how to type, they're like, write a letter to a friend. I was like, even back then, no one wrote letters. It was in this weird, like, kind of in between space, like, the internet wasn't a thing, but mail wasn't either, And so
No communication.
I wish I
it
grew
was
up with that.
telephones. Everybody talked on the telephone back
wish
then.
that was
They're like,
it.
why'd you write me a letter? Just fucking call me.
Right. It's like, that's so funny.
So, yes,
Give
I
yourself
so
a
you wrote your
stamp.
letter.
wrote him a letter. and
While
was
he's
like-
in rehab.
While he was in inpatient rehab. And I was like, I hope you're doing okay. And then he got out. And then he and I just like would take trips to the coast in Washington and go on like surf trips for like 3 days and like ditch school. And my parents were fine with it because I wasn't doing drugs,
And you really weren't.
No, but again, I don't want to make it sound like I was a druggie. Like I was just smoking weed and doing acid and mushrooms. It wasn't like, So, like anybody who actually, like if doing this podcast, I feel like anybody who actually had a drug problem would be like,
Right. Like that's not
you
drugs.
fucking, Yeah.
I usually
In fact,
feel that
even
way
at
too.
NA, they'd be like, when it was our turn, like, so I really have a problem with smoking pot. I was like that Bob Saget skit,
Exactly,
It's like,
yeah.
I was
Half-baked,
that guy.
half-baked,
Half baked. I was like, I'm really can't stop smoking weed, and everyone's like,
So were you sober for a while? Like, did you quit?
yeah.
For how long?
Well, then I became super Mormon.
Then
That's
you became super
what led me
Mormon.
to be, because I grew up Mormon, but I was never into it,
And
then
you
because-
rebelled against it.
Yeah, this is like how George Bush was. Like George Bush became an alcoholic, and then he turned to God, and then he became
Yeah.
very Christian.
Yeah.
That's kind of my story.
You were on that George Bush path. That
I was
W
on that
path.
George Bush path. It's embarrassing. Some embarrassing shit.
Okay, so so you rebel, but then you take drugs. Then you feel like I got to go to NA because my friend just
then
went to
the
the
shame
hospital.
kicks in, the guilt kicks in.
Well, in NA, are they like you need to find a higher power, and then you're like, a Mormon. Like,
Exactly. Yeah. I was like, well, I guess I should start with the one right in front of me. I guess I'll read the Book of Mormon. So I read the Book of Mormon.
okay, for the first time, they don't make you read it,
I was blown away. I was.
like by
You
the
love
truth.
fiction.
I loved that story.
And the story is John Smith.
No,
finds
I can't. No, it's Joseph Smith.
Joseph Smith finds these
This is-
tablets that are like the
No.
lost word of God, and Jesus was American and white.
That's
I'm
Something about a
paraphrasing a
ship.
South Park
I believe there
episode.
was a ship
that's
involved.
great. No, now you're thinking about this is
L.
so
Ron
that's the
Hubbard.
Pilgrims.
L. Ron
Oh,
Hubbard.
shoot.
Oh yeah,
No,
that's
that's
Scientology.
I'm
L. Ron-
sorry. I'm
that's L. Ron
sorry.
Hubbard.
I'm mixing up the Scientologists
No,
and the
all right,
Mormons.
well, why don't you tell us?
No,
All right, but didn't Joseph Smith have like?
this is what's funny. Anytime I say that I was Mormon, I'm always Mormon. People are like, "Oh yeah, well you're Mormon. Like, don't you believe?" I'm like, "I'm not Mormon anymore." How many times do I have to say
Right.
that?
That's funny.
But
Just give me the quick.
it was hard enough to like get myself to not think that I wasn't Mormon because, like, you grew up a certain way,
Yeah.
and you're like, I'm going to hell for
I know.
doing this thing.
It's in there whether you want to admit
Yeah,
it or
it's
not.
hard to like really like reprogram yourself.
Well, ironically, like I gave up alcohol at Lent. I didn't consciously think I'm going to give something up for Lent. But then just like clockwork, my body, I was like, oh yeah, I kind of feel like just taking a little break.
That was the Spirit of Christ.
The Spirit
It's
of
the Lord
Christ
moving through you.
kicked out alcohol for my body.
Gone,
don't
demon.
deny it. Don't you feel it?
What about the book? What blew your mind?
About the Book of Mormon, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, it blew my mind. What blew your mind?
the Spirit of Jesus Christ.
Hey, talk to me.
No, I think honestly, it was a story about good and evil. I'll tell you. Okay, you want to know what the Book of
Yeah,
Mormon
because I
is?
clearly am wrong,
I'll
right?
tell
I
you
mean,
what
my,
the-
I
All
really
right.
know very, very
The Book of
Never saw the
little to
musical.
nothing about it.
never saw the show.
Yeah.
It's and here's the funny thing. Here's what's really funny is that people when I tell them that I grew up Mormon, they have all these questions like, "Oh my God, I have so many questions," and I'll just evade and evade and evade. But no one actually knows what the Book of Mormon is about.
I've got no clue.
Till
No.
today. Wait, I'm going to just turn that fucking thing off because it's driving me crazy. But I can still hear you. Book
This
of Mormon.
episode, what the Book of Mormon is actually about.
That's probably what we'll call it.
The Book of Mormon.
You listen the whole time and
I
then you
just
still
burped.
get no more information.
The
You
Book of
started
Mormon was written by ancient prophets.
Long ago. Let me guess. They were all men.
Oh yeah,
Right.
no prophetesses.
Women didn't
allowed.
exist back then.
Nope, just for making babies. The Book of Mormon was written by ancient prophets from about 600 BC to about 200 AD.
Okay, for 800 years they wrote it.
Yep.
Okay.
It is basically the equivalent to the Bible because the Bible was also written by quote unquote prophets that were, the Bible is a collection of books, right? Oh, are we really talking about this?
Yeah, this is interesting,
going there.
actually.
Really? Okay.
So there's like the book of Exodus, Paul, Corinthians.
Okay, so you have the Old Testament, the New Testament. In the Old Testament, you have like, you have all these. The Old Testament actually is the only part of the Bible that I feel like that's actually a story from beginning to end. There's a lot of dead shit in there. But then you have the New Testament, which is you have these epistles, the Pauline epistles, which are literally just letters.
Right.
You have Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, which are what they call the synoptic gospels because these are the gospels that were written by these. They're basically just different viewpoints, but they're almost word for word from each other. There's no actual storyline except for when you read Matthew, there's a storyline. When you read Mark, there's a storyline. They all have their own version of the story, like their viewpoint, right? Mm-hmm. So all these books were then collected by the church, whatever church that was, which they would have like the Nicene Creed or the Athanasian Creed, where they would then decide which books were considered biblical or the canon of Scripture. And then from that is how we get the Bible. The Bible didn't fall out of the sky. It was compiled of books. And then political, like just, I can't even remember the names anymore. It's been so long. I feel like I'm talking
You're
about.
doing great. This is
synoptic.
yeah, and I'm like, wow,
What?
Steve's retained a lot of this information. That's what I'm here over here thinking.
I'm impressed.
I feel like I'm talking about, again, like Star Trek. Like I feel like who cares? It's
I'm
here for
enjoying
it.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here for it.
But I guess like the point is that these books were then compiled, and then the Bible was compiled, and you have then different versions of the Bible. So the Book of Mormon is basically a bunch of scriptures compiled of prophets that were in the Americas. The Americas, it sounded so George Bushian.
Mm-hmm. Right.
In
You
the
did him
Americas.
proud.
It fits. Yep.
And yeah.
So it was like what made it to the cutting room floor of the Bible?
Yeah, so
But
those
in
people that lived in
600
America then compiled it, and those people,
So is it like Native Americans wrote
down.
the Book of Mormon?
yes, that's what Mormons believe.
Okay.
Not like, because the Native Americans today are what's left.
Sure, but if you're talking 600
I mean, we're
BC,
talking like-
I mean, there it's like
We're
this
talking
is-
like the Mayans and the Aztecs.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Yes, like
They-
South America.
okay.
Central
They
America.
supposedly wrote the Book of Mormon.
Yes.
Okay.
The ancestors of the native people of Central and South America.
Weren't these publications in English? And those are languages
They've been
that
translated.
Just like the Bible.
they've been translated from
Right. They're
Quijotel or whatever the fuck
Yep.
the Aztec spoke.
through Joseph
this-
Smith, through the power of God.
Were these
I forget.
were the people in South America or in the Americas in contact with the Middle East at the time, or this like happened separately?
Nope. Yep.
Like, so it's like kind of like a parallel thinking kind of a
Right.
concept.
Because if you think about it, the thinking is that this idea of Christianity, Christ, is not a regional thing. It's not a global thing. It's a universe thing. Right? So wouldn't God also appear to the people?
Right.
I'm also like, well,
You
where
would think-
are the scriptures from, like, Asia? You
Right.
know? Where were the prophets that were writing? Well, which, by the way, there's some people that would say that was also a thing.
That happened. So everywhere that there was like a
There's some
group of people.
apocryphal writings. Like there's this book I remember hearing about back in the day that was like Saint Isa, which was written by some apocryphal, meaning like old books that have been passed down from generation to generation that are not considered biblical, or they didn't make the canon of scripture, but they're still like old books, or like the Dead Sea Scrolls, or like there's the Book of Enoch. A lot of these old books that have been floating around for hundreds of years, thousands of years.
Okay, so the Book of Mormon though, when were these scriptures discovered, or were they passed down since?
So Joseph Smith, by an angel, was led to some plates buried in the ground that were left by these people and that's the Book of Mormon.
That's the only source of the Book of Mormon is the plates that he found. And
Yes.
where are those plates now?
God took them. I don't know.
Oh,
I can't remember.
nobody gets to see them.
No, because that would take away faith.
So wasn't there something where he's like, the plates said this, and everyone's like, oh, cool, like let's read the plates, and he's like, oh, only I can even see the plates.
Yeah, I mean, from the beginning,
Right.
that was always
That
a
was
thing.
his thing.
No
So-
one was allowed to see the plates.
The speculation, I'm sure, is that Joseph Smith just made it all up.
Well, yeah. I mean, beyond just the plates thing, but yes. Let's not. I mean, you want to get into Joseph Smith? There's a lot of.
So
shady history.
when did Joseph Smith find the plates? What year are we talking for that? Or,
now this is where my brain.
We
is a
talking
little-
1800?
Yes,
We talking 1200?
yes, 1800s.
1800s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 1840.
In Utah or something, I assume. No.
New York,
New York.
upstate New York.
Upstate New York. Found the plates.
Yep.
Told everybody about it. Let's start a religion.
Then they got kicked out of New York and they went to Ohio, and then they got kicked out of Ohio and they went to Missouri, and then they got kicked out of Missouri and they went to Utah.
Was he like an L. Ron Hubbard type of character? Was he like the leader of it? Like
Yep.
the head?
Yep,
the figurehead?
100%. Actually, he was killed in Ohio or Missouri. And then Brigham Young is the one that took over after him. You've heard of Brigham Young, maybe?
I
Sounds
have,
familiar.
for sure.
And
It's
he's the one that...
university.
Yes.
The what?
University. That's what I know it from.
Yeah. So he took over, and he took the saints, the pilgrims across the plains to Salt Lake City.
Who killed him?
Joseph Smith?
Yeah.
A mob.
The Jews.
Because they were like, you're a religious nutcase?
No, see, it's
or
funny because, like, whatever I tell you...
I'll believe it.
No, but
Also,
like,
by
whatever...
the way.
In
So-
fact, all of the things I'm telling you are based off of, like, through the lens of what I grew up being told.
Right. We don't know if any of this is true, but this is what the story is.
Right.
It's the truth you've been given.
So, yeah. And I was a Mormon missionary, guys. I went
Yeah,
on a
we got to
mission.
get to that too. This is going to be.
I was knocking on doors.
So that's when you're 18. You elected to
19.
go. 19. You elected to do 3 years of service.
2 years.
Yes,
2
okay.
years.
So you read these books, you're like, holy fuck.
I was like, oh my God.
That's fucking. And nobody told you this shit when you were a kid? You were like, what?
Told me. Well,
Like when
yeah,
you're a kid, but it was like with like songs and stuff.
Let me put it this way. Have you read the Bible?
Nope.
A little bit.
I mean, yeah, definitely
you
not
haven't.
cover
one's-
to cover.
No,
I guess not
nobody's
cover to
read the
cover,
Bible.
but I know the stories. I mean, there's
Yeah,
not
but no.
much you're going to tell me. I'm going to be like, what?
Like when I say the Synoptic Gospels and the Pauline epistles, if you read the Bible, you would understand. That's not like any. That's not like what. That's not like I'm a smarty pants for saying that. If you read the Bible, you'd be like, oh yeah, totally. There's Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't have done that.
They tell the same story, literally.
Yeah.
From beginning to end, the same but just different. And then you have the epistles of Paul, and then you
Isn't
have
it the apostles?
What is what the apostles?
Is it epistles or apostles?
The Pauline epistles. They are the 12 apostles, but
there you go.
epistles are like
they're the
letters.
right. The disciples of Jesus are the apostles. That was their gang.
Disciples are followers of Jesus.
Right, but the 12
Apostles are
disciples-
the 12 chosen, specifically named as apostles. Now, again, I'm speaking as a
gang.
Mormon.
Right. We're dead. We just died. Okay, so
Yeah.
you read this book, you're like, what? I'm
I
going
never-
in.
it's
I'm
funny-
going in. I'm not doing drugs, and I'm going to put on
Yeah.
a tie, ride a bicycle, knock on doors. Were you the cool Mormon?
No.
Or were you like, you're right there with everybody? You know what I mean? Like, the one guy's
know,
like,
I'm
okay,
feeling like
Steve,
a
here we go.
class
And you're like,
clown.
dude, relax. Like, this is going to be great. This is going to be so fun. Like,
Okay, so I was probably more serious about it than most.
because you chose
Surprisingly.
it.
Yes. I didn't go because like my parents were making me go. I actually believed in it. And so here's the thing is like for me, even though I believed in it wholeheartedly,
I think it's just a car outside that buzzes our windows. You believed in it wholeheartedly.
even though I believed in it wholeheartedly, I was like, but I also reserve the right to like listen to other points of view and learn about spirituality and truth from other people. So even though I wasn't supposed to, I did read other books. You were supposed to only like read the scriptures and you weren't supposed to watch the news or listen to like, you know, worldly music or watch TV.
That is so problematic. Don't read anything that's gonna make you
It's-
question, like what you
That's
were
like
saying
some
earlier.
Scientology shit.
Yes.
I love that you're questioning, but yeah, that's some messed
See,
up stuff.
I
That's-
did abide by the rule of not listening to the news or watching TV or going to movies, which I think that's not problematic. That I understand.
I
The noise
mean-
of like,
Well, I think the noise
culture
maybe
and everything.
gets in the way of happiness, but to filter that out, I don't know. I think that's problematic still.
what's problematic, I feel like, is to say you're not allowed to read other
You're not allowed to learn.
beliefs or
Yeah.
whatever. But their
But they're
point of view
essentially
is like,
saying-
you're here to preach, like you should already have decided. But I'm like, I'm fucking 19. You know what I mean? Like, give me a break. Let me learn a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
what was fucked
And like,
up
what are you
about
so
it.
afraid of? Like, if you're the right one, then I'm going to learn about these things, and I'm going to still know that
how
Mormonism
I
is
felt,
correct.
yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
what are you afraid of? All right. So you're knocking on doors, though. See, this goes back to like you being comfortable doing
which I
stand
loved,
up.
by the way. I loved.
I
knocking
believe
on
it.
doors.
I would
Did
hate
you?
that. I would be.
We were
mortified.
required. We were required to like do 6 hours, I think, a week of knocking
so
on
bad.
doors. Maybe
a
it was
lot.
20 hours. I think it was 20 hours, actually. I can't remember. So long ago. 6 hours a day? I don't remember. Anyway, I always did like that plus more. Mm-hmm. I loved doing it. Yet they told us like this is the least effective way to bring souls to Christ. They're like,
we get the least return on this investment.
Yeah, they're like, actually, yes, you're required to do this, and it's more, I think, just out of like, don't be twiddling your thumbs, but more so, we want you to be spending time with members in the Mormons in the community and like talking to their friends. Mm-hmm. Because even if you do convert someone through knocking on doors, the chances of them actually being retained are really low. The best converts are people through friends.
Makes sense.
Because they also would say like, every member of the church needs a friend, a calling. I can't remember what the third thing was. Oh, and the good nourishment of the Word of God.
Mm.
Oh, that's it.
So you had to have a friend.
The friend is a hard one to get. I mean, the nourishment you already got, right? Who doesn't have the nourishment?
No one's reading.
Oh.
So that was why you'd always be like, have you been reading Brother So-and-so?
Oh. They
What
check
are we
you.
talking
Brother
about?
so-and-so. Brothers.
It's a weird thing about Christianity in
I have
general.
not
where
talked
it's
about
like,
any of this in so long. This
well,
is
thanks
so
for
weird.
doing it for us.
Oh, God.
It's a weird thing with Christianity to be like, we need more Christians. Like, whereas Jews are like, we're Jewish. Like, you're not Jewish. Like, we don't even want you to be Jewish.
See,
like,
I think the
what's with
opposite.
Christianity trying to grow?
I think both are weird.
Well, both are weird, but
That's why I kind
weirder
of respect astrology a little bit.
Why?
Because
it's so pushy.
No, astrology is like, if you want to believe in it, great. You want to fuck this girl, learn about it.
yeah, exactly. You want to talk to girls at a bar? Learn your fucking sign.
But like, Jews are like, no, I don't want you to, no. They're actually like, the rabbis are, my roommate told me this, so I'm just quoting him, but he said that they're supposed to say no 3 times.
Make sure you really want it.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I never understood why do we need more Christians other than like money, like to feed this system, but
So people don't go to hell.
yeah, I guess that's true.
It's that simple. That's what I'm saying. This is why the whole thing's crazy. How much more do we have to talk about?
All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
It's just dumb. That's the thing.
That was very interesting to me. I didn't know a lot of that. I knew you were Mormon, and that was like a funny kind of part of your story that like, oh, Steve used to be Mormon. Because we would joke like, Steve's like, he's like a kid who just went to college or something because he was
You're
Mormon.
fresh.
Because how long? Okay, we'll just talk.
I didn't
from
lose-
18 to what?
I didn't lose my virginity till I was 31.
Wow.
31-year-old virgin.
It's
Look at
healthy.
this face,
It's a
guys.
healthy age.
Yeah.
I could get laid.
It's a healthy,
This
ripe
perfect
age.
face.
He's a prolific ladies man now. But 18 to when did you like? When were you? When
Till
did
31,
you realize? When did you realize
he got
this
laid
is bullshit?
and then he's out?
Like, what's that moment?
It wasn't overnight, but I think I just actually here's what it was. You want to know what the turning point was for me?
Yes.
The turning point for me was I would go to church, and I was always liberal, which is okay to be liberal and be Mormon, but it's okay, but no one is. So I would go to church, and everybody watched Fox News, and I was like, what the fuck? You guys, are we...
You doing this?
I'm not fitting in here. Like, if these are the people of God and you're watching Fox News as like your main diet of information of what's happening in the world, then you clearly don't know what the fuck truth is.
Shouldn't they not watch the news anyway?
No, you're allowed to watch the news, just not when you're a Mormon missionary.
Copy that.
Okay.
Okay,
that's
so
a
you're
less-
like, oh, we got a bunch of Fox Newsies. This is who I've hitched my fucking horse to, or whatever.
And the needle in the haystack was when they were
nail
fighting
in the coffin.
You're right. What the fuck?
These are tough. Don't worry.
The nail in the coffin was that they wanted everybody to protest same-sex marriage. And I was like, Mormons of all people who literally banned plural marriage to become a state want to say what they think is conventional marriage. You want to say the marriage should only be between a man and a woman when you were doing some shit that everybody thought was weird. And then you're like, okay, we won't do it anymore so we can become a state. That's literally what happened.
They got rid of polygamy so that they could be official.
Yes.
And so now here they are having some issue with someone else. Well, maybe like it's not fair. Like, why do the gays get married? We don't even get to have 4 wives anymore.
That's a good point.
You know? If they would have
Misery
kept
loves
their
company.
polygamy, I bet they'd be.
Well, I used to
pro-gay
say that
marriage.
when I was Mormon and the debate would come up, I'm like, and someone would be like, yeah, like, why I can't believe that you're against, these Christians are against same-sex marriage. And I'm like, so are you cool with like plural marriage then? And they're like, what? No. I'm like, why not? Why does the state even have anything to do with it?
I agree.
I don't really, the whole idea of marriage in itself is kind of crazy to me, to be a lawful thing. I get it with like, you have kids involved and there's custody and.
Well, there's that. And then there's just like your finances. There's like a financial aspect to it, which is all legal things. But yeah, it is.
But if there's any lesson to be learned is that there are no nuclear families. So why the fuck are we trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like it makes no sense to me.
I agree. Why is it like a government
arbitrary
thing?
Yeah, it shouldn't be. It should be kids and guardians. That's all that should matter. And people that, if you want to say you're a partner, if you want to have multiple partners, that's fine. I don't care.
What about
if your partner's your cat? Like the people would say that thing like, well, what if somebody wants to be married to a horse? I'm like, great. I don't care.
As long as they're not hurting anybody else or the horse,
as long as
go for it.
If you want your horse to have visiting rights to see you in the hospital, great. As long as it doesn't, I mean, bring your horse.
That's a little.
It would be hairy.
What
for
about?
Sure.
I mean, I'm playing devil's advocate here. What about things like? Well, in a divorce, do you believe in alimony?
Do I believe in alimony?
Do you believe alimony should be regulated by the state? Because this is an enforced government thing based on a marriage breaking up.
I do,
but if the marriage isn't a legal thing, how is the breakup a legal thing?
Alimony has nothing to do with marriage, does it?
Yeah. What if when you pay your ex?
Oh, alimony as opposed to child support.
That's not child support. Yeah, alimony is paying your ex spouse.
Great point. Yeah.
Do you think it should be a legal thing?
Yeah, I do.
So it's hard to be like, well, the marriage should not have anything to do with the government, but if the marriage ends, then the government's got to get involved.
You're right.
That's kind of a messy situation.
That's a great point.
Plus, like, who gets the house? Like, it's a.
Now I'm a chauvinist pig.
Piece of shit.
Now I'm supporting asshole men that just want to.
Yeah, I don't like the gays to get married. I'm just kidding.
I can't win. But yeah, that's a great point.
I don't know.
But okay, so you got out of there, and then Steve's like, in his 30s, and he's like, oh, like, let's surf and like let's do like drugs in the woods, like like when I met you, I felt like you were like.
No, I was kind of coming out of that though.
Sure.
Not kind of. I was far out of that.
Well, I don't know that you're out of it yet. No, I'm just kidding. But
oh, really?
Well, I don't know. You were. Maybe you're just such a social.
A six-pack to myself. I'm like, I was way out of partying, man.
Yeah, I don't even party anymore.
This
is nothing, dude.
It's my portable sixer.
Maybe you're just more social than I am. I feel like you were always like up and out, and you'd come into the furniture store and be like, dude, I went surfing at 5 a.m. last night.
Man, I forget those days.
And it's like.
That was great. I wish I was doing more of that, surfing at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with being.
I guess you were living.
I've always been that way.
You've always been that way. Even when you were Mormon, you're like, guys, let's go out. Let's do something. 100%. Like, what the fuck? All right, cool. So that's not a Mormon or non-Mormon
always
thing.
Will be, yeah. I am, I bite off more than I can chew a lot. I'm like,
you're a social creature. And
but not just social, it's like going surfing, like that 5 a.m. on a full moon.
Right. You don't say no.
Yeah. I very rarely say no. I really am like, I really want to take the most out of life. It's important to me.
And you've always felt that way.
Always.
Could that maybe be like
I've always
a Mormon
been the
thing?
last person out of the water, the last person off the slope, the last person, like I'm like always like juicing it for as much as I can get.
Closing down the party.
I don't know why that is. I feel like I just always feel like because I feel like the sweetest part is the part where you're about to go home. You know that part where you're like, I'm fucking done, guys. I'm tired. I'm like, yeah, you go. And then I'm like, after you left, maybe it's FOMO. Maybe that's what it is. Like,
Maybe.
See, I feel like that's always the run you get hurt on, you know? It's always the one you
but it's
eat
also the
shit
best
on.
story.
Yeah, perhaps.
I love a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. I forgot.
Ask me what
lost
what
it.
I've been doing lately. Ask me what's new.
Before we get to that, can I ask you, because you walked in here with a suitcase, and I'm curious what's inside the suitcase, Steve.
It's kind of weird to me that you haven't asked until now.
What or who? I forgot about
Yes.
the suitcase.
What do you think it could be?
I mean, really anything.
I bet
that's
it's pretty.
semi-small.
I bet it would be like documents
Why
or
would you
something.
think small?
I mean, it's not that large of a suitcase.
It's a small suitcase. I see what you're saying.
so
small
anything that is
suitcase.
smallish could
It's
be
going to
in
be
there.
smaller than whatever's in there is smaller than the suitcase itself.
I think
we can almost
exactly.
guarantee that.
I could almost positively, certainly, confidently say that.
I bet it's just like your documents. Because
Documents?
if I want
No.
my
documents, guys.
I want my furniture
that's
salesman
far
to be like a hipster who
I'm
has
hoping for a
briefcase.
hacky sack.
Oh,
Is
some
there a-
pens.
What
I think
if-
some
Oh,
legal paper,
pens,
legal pad.
Pens is a good guess. Is there a whistle?
Like I'm trying to sign you guys up for life insurance, and I brought you.
No, like when
Do you have
someone's
any,
at the
like,
store, you're like, well,
electrolyte
like, okay, let me
packets?
just maybe there's a laptop in there.
What about?
Why don't you get the briefcase?
No, come on, these guys. You got better. I gotta
okay.
pee.
Oh.
Think of some better.
okay.
I know
All right.
you got some
I
good
feel
stuff.
like he's got like a watch.
So is it
backup.
something? Have we guessed it
A
yet?
watch.
Or we haven't guessed it yet?
What are the guesses again? A notepad,
Just
A
like
hacky sack?
officey
Laptop and a-
shit, a laptop.
No.
Okay,
A
so it's
clock?
something a little more. All right, well,
A clock, an alarm clock.
When you come back, we get 3 guesses.
You get 3, I get 3.
but I want you to think about what your guesses are.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's why we're gonna work together
Oh,
to
yeah,
find
yeah.
these 3 guesses.
We're working together.
Yeah, that's more fun. Otherwise, we're
Okay.
just gonna sit here in silence and think.
I know. I guess you're right. Okay.
Okay,
I
let's
guess
think.
that
Steve.
sounds so fun.
Could be
for a
more
podcast.
booze. Could be more booze.
Could be more booze. What about like? What about one of those little shamu towels for when he goes to the beach? He's got to dry off.
It's like a bathing suit, a wetsuit, maybe even something. Yeah, that's true. He's a guy. He did bring it in.
He did.
He wants to show it to us.
Something in there. If he came from work, what would he bring to work? A furniture salesman. What is? He's got like wood polish in there.
But does he always bring it to work, or did he just bring it to work knowing that he was doing this after?
Did he have a suit in there? Does he wear a suit to work? Does he have a uniform?
I bet
that's
he
stuck in there?
dresses pretty much like this because it's kind of hipstery. Could be more booze.
You're feeling good about that, huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
Booze. There could be a flask in there.
Okay, I like the like wetsuit or some kind of surfing accessory, a swimming accessory.
What shoes does he have on right now?
Maybe he's going somewhere after this.
Maybe he has a change of shoes, you know?
Oh, there's more shoes in there.
There could be. It's what I put
Do you
in my
agree with a
suitcases.
swimming accessory?
He sounded like he hadn't surfed in a while. That's why I'm
You're
skeptical.
right. Okay, shoes,
Okay.
booze,
Booze and shoes.
and booze, shoes,
And a boat. Boat. No,
And a boat.
No, I'm
No.
kidding. That doesn't fit.
It's probably not booze either. That's a funny guess, but it's not correct. Could be a hat.
Yeah. Sure.
His
Could be a
phone's
hat. A hat fits in a suitcase.
Laundry? Like a change of clothes? Is he going somewhere maybe? At the night?
We are the destination.
He came here.
Yeah.
Is he staying the night?
He's got his toothbrush.
Yeah, like, wait a second. What?
He's got his pillow. His little blanket. Does he have a blanket?
Could be a blanket.
Let's go with a blanket.
Okay, blanket, shoes,
Maybe he takes naps at work. There's all those beds around.
or the third one.
I mean, I
a
really
wild
want
card.
the hacky sack to be in there.
But I don't think we guessed it.
A lighter? What about a lighter?
One lighter in there?
I would put a lighter in there.
By the way,
I'm
did you
just
say
saying.
blankets?
Yeah.
That's a great guess.
It
So
is-
far, we
is
got
it?
blankets,
That's
shoes,
What's our going to be our final 3?
That's a really
and
great
the final
guess.
guess, and booze.
All right.
Blankets, shoes, more booze.
Wait,
Those are our
it
3
was
guesses.
combined together.
Yeah, we
together.
worked
We
together.
worked together for those guesses.
Those are great guesses.
Thank you.
Let's get a reveal here.
I think actually all of those guesses are all really good guesses.
Thank you.
Blankets, I'm gonna
And
put at
all
the
of them
top.
are incorrect, huh?
Should I bring it out?
I think
Yeah,
you
bring it
should.
out.
It's probably
Where
Let's
is
talk
it?
through it.
Blankets, shoes, more booze.
I think it's like a flask
Could
of
be
booze.
empty.
It's a
Wouldn't that be
bowling ball?
something? Bowling ball? I don't think so.
No.
It could be like a froth kit. Bocce
Okay,
ball
you got
set.
disc golfs in there.
Bocce ball set.
Bocce ball.
Great,
You ever botch?
great game.
I never botched.
Oh, that's
My
great.
grandpa
I did
used
buy
to have
a
that.
Good yard
croquet
game.
set
Yeah.
recently.
It's a good yard game. That's another good yard game.
What
All right.
one?
All right, so this is something I've been doing lately.
Is there a cat in there? Meow.
Oh, it's the shorts.
Oh, we're idiots.
See, I didn't even know if you guys knew that I was doing shorts. Did I tell you I was
You
doing
did.
shorts?
Last time we saw you,
Valley
you were like, I'm doing shorts.
Wait
Then
a
how
second.
would you not guess that?
I
'Cause we're
forgot. And it's so funny too.
freaking
Your name
silly
came up one time and I was like,
muffin heads.
Steve. And she's like, oh, the short guy. And I'm like, I mean, he's not that short. He's
Valley Heat, baby.
Valley
Can you tell
Heat.
me where to find you on Instagram? Because I looked and I couldn't find you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So this is your company.
Okay, so listen, I brought 2 sizes of each.
I was really hoping you were going to bring shorts.
They're
love it.
they're unisex.
I'm really
So
into
you
these
can
olive
each-
green
I'm
ones.
unisex.
Grab one. You can
I'm
have one pair
unisex.
each.
We each get
Wait,
one
I
pair
used to-
of each.
I'm
You
obsessed
each
with
can
these.
pick
We
one
each
pair.
one
Because I
each.
didn't know if you. I brought small, medium, and if those aren't the right sizes, I can bring other sizes.
Whoa. I'm obsessed. I used to have a pair like this in college, and I loved them so much, and I
want
don't know why I ever got rid of them.
So they're
there's
basically
blue. And for people just listening, what do we got here, Steve? These are like corduroy.
And I didn't
Oh
mean
yeah,
this
these
to
are
be
cords.
shorts.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean this to be a whole commercial here.
God, look at these fabrics.
Hey, I was on my way to the
Into them.
factory.
It's kind of like a lederhosen vibe over here.
Later.
Whoa.
I like that color.
There's like a khaki color, olive
This color's my
green.
favorite, actually.
This is the bomb. I
'Cause
like
see how
this olive
thick
green.
it's like a thick, heavyweight
Yeah,
cord
I'm
fabric.
into this.
Oh, we're getting a little.
Oh man, we've got
Are those
some
swim trunks?
These are the swim trunks.
Oh man, Paul.
Swimwear was one of our guesses, maybe. Fuck.
Was it?
I changed it.
Well, 'cause we were
I changed
like-
it up.
Because we thought maybe it's like for
You
certain.
sounded like
Holy
you hadn't gone to the
shit.
beach in forever.
These are
These
really
are-
cool.
Those are really dope. Which I really love this. These have like little lizards. There's kind of like a
Yeah, it's like a gecko.
gecko print.
These are
There's
very,
all sorts of cool
very
things.
JC.
I freaking love
I
them.
can see that.
I like this color, I think, more than the blue. You like the blue? Blue's cool too.
So
Oh,
Those are hard. It's
these
hard to
have
pick
built-in underwear. They're for swimming,
Yeah.
and these are for like. These are for like the country club.
Yeah. I'm obviously choosing some for the country club.
Yeah, of course.
Because that's how I
I'm gonna
roll.
go with the swimsuit, and I'm gonna go with this swimsuit.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's
Strong
yeah.
choice.
We all
Because I don't really wear shorts unless I'm on a boat
I
or
wish
swimming.
you did.
I'm sorry.
I try to put short shorts on him all the time. He looks so cute and German. It's just great, but
I
he
need
won't do it.
stronger calf muscles if I feel good with that. No, it's
you
just I've
just-
never been a shorts guy. I don't know. I'm a pants guy. I feel like myself in pants. Wait, I'm gonna return the favor. Pause.
I got your shirt already. Oh no, not that one. Yeah, give me one.
These are so great. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Do you think I could fit in a large? Oh, he won't wear the shorts anyways. He won't wear them.
I think mediums.
Better.
Are you large or medium? Sure. This is a large.
Washed?
No.
You haven't
You
washed
think
it?
he doesn't?
just got it.
You didn't appreciate it?
I just got it today.
He got
That's
it
a
today.
medium?
Wanted to wear it.
large.
Oh, then large. Yeah.
So on Instagram, Valley Heat.
Valley
What are you?
Dash Heat. I thought.
Valley Dash Heat.
No, Valley Heat Official. That's what it is.
Valley Heat Official.
I know. We tried. We
Okay.
tried so
Okay.
hard.
No, I'm glad we're clarifying.
Valley Heat Official. Valley Heat Official.
I love it. It makes me
Dude,
want to
this is
like
sick.
play tennis. These
Okay,
shorts.
but can I just? This is what I want to say real quick.
Yeah, talk to us.
This is important.
Okay.
This is actually really important. It's not just that I'm doing shorts and everything. Everything here. And I feel like I'm on I'm the ShamWow guy. Everything here.
I guess
Wow.
Sham Wow. That was
Really?
one of my.
Was it?
Yeah, he said the Sham Wow little towel.
Oh, that's funny. I missed it.
But this is important, is that everything's dead stock.
What does that mean? It was like going to be thrown out?
Yeah. So this shirt, even this, if you notice, this says Stripes made in USA. This t-shirt was made in the 80s. And then we printed our logo on it.
Cool.
I like it.
It's a dead stock blank and then these shorts, we made the shorts, but it's from a roll of fabric that's from the 80s.
Oh, wow.
Same with this. So all of these are vintage, dead stock, old fabric.
Aged like fine wine.
It looks so new.
It is new.
It just was never used.
Yes.
Where has it been?
That's the definition of dead stock. It's new, old stock, dead stock. It's old. It's new,
but it was
old.
But it was
New to
made
you.
old. It was made.
It was made
in the 80s.
In the 80s, but never used.
It's been sitting where? In a warehouse?
In a warehouse.
Wow. Well kept.
So, and we're doing this because we're trying to, make less of a footprint. The only thing that is not is like the patch, obviously, and like the underwear that we made on these.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think most people would
But
be happy with that.
this, the drawstring, everything is old.
Where are these being put together?
In LA.
In LA.
Made in LA.
Super cool.
So made locally. So we're not shipping stuff all over the place. And so it's like legit.
Where do you sell them?
Made. Online.
Valleyheat.com.
We're probably going to be in at least one store in the next couple of weeks in Silver Lake, but we're still working on that. We just launched our website like a few weeks ago.
Awesome.
And
Super cool.
it's just something I'm doing.
Dude, it's amazing.
That's really fun. And we started doing it during the pandemic because we were like, all the shorts are like board shorts,
Mm-hmm.
like long, lame ass, dumb looking shorts that are stupid. And we're like, why can you not find good shorts? And so we just were like, we're going to make our own shorts. And then we started getting like old fabric and we're like, wait a minute, we should just do this.
So who designs them? Like do you sew? Or like does one of you sew?
We took like a few different so we basically, there's 4 of us, but Jacob and I are the ones that do the design. We basically started buying up a bunch of vintage shorts. Mm-hmm. Like I have, 100 different pairs of vintage shorts from the 50s to the 80s. And so we started like kind of just what?
I just thought of you as like Tobias Funke and Never Nude. Like you're always in one of your pairs
always
of
wearing
shorts.
the shorts, yeah.
I'm always wearing
My
shorts.
mind just like
they're in
pictured
there.
you just like
Crying
naked,
in the
but
shower
like
wearing
in
jean
shorts.
And so you kind of base the designs
No, it's
off of
true.
those
You
shorts.
totally saw me. You just busted me. Like
I was
she's
like,
like,
I
what
heard you
the
laugh
fuck
out of
is
nowhere. I
she
was
thinking?
What I love is that when I saw you, you were like, I caught you right as you were picturing me naked and then in shorts.
That's
Yeah,
never
not fully
happened to me
naked.
before.
You're turning red.
I've never been busted like that.
Wow. You saw your thoughts. You saw like in your
So
brain.
good. But what's funny is I remember when it finally got cold in the fall and I wore some pants and my girlfriend was like, are you wearing pants? And I'm like, yeah. Because she used to be like, what shorts are you wearing today? Because every day it was like a new pair of shorts. I kept buying and buying and buying on eBay and like all the different, platforms, just vintage shorts. Because it was like I was getting inspiration. I'm like, I like the band on this one. I like the pockets on this one. I like the, the fit. Mm-hmm. And based on all of that, we designed kind of like
So it's sort of a vintage design. Like you base the design off
short shorts based off of vintage design.
Yeah, they make you
Super
want to roller
cool.
skate.
Yeah, they make me want to play basketball. Like
Basketball.
Yeah, with
roller
high
skate.
socks and like, yeah,
No, but
canvas shoes.
No, but they just make you want to just nothing. They're just that's
They're awesome.
What should just be. You
Yeah,
don't have
that
to
also.
you don't have to justify wearing short shorts. You can just wear short shorts.
I've always been a fan of short shorts.
Yeah, she
and
rocks
what's
the
funny
shorts.
is I wear them to work. I literally, not these, yes, but just I wear
Corduroy.
short.
Yeah.
No,
Shorts in general. Vintage shorts.
I wear short shorts to work literally every day.
Wow.
Not now that it's been cold, but when it wasn't cold.
Fair game.
And Jacob and I both, we don't care. We just wear them. It's like, whatever.
Yeah, good. Jacob's got good legs. You should meet him. He's an Australian man.
You might have a moment too.
Yeah, he's beautiful.
Is he?
I think he's an attractive man.
He's attractive, yeah.
Yeah, you're attractive too. He's got the accent.
He's got the accent, yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
the
that is
accent.
a
And he's
that is
tall,
a very
you know.
charming accent.
He's a tall, short guy.
He loves talking about how tall he is.
tall
Oh,
short
does
guy.
he?
Oh, yeah.
Tucks it up, huh? Well,
Yeah. Anyway.
super cool, dude. Congrats.
Yeah, thanks. Well,
I'm glad to finally get the shorts. Thank you.
Yeah,
for the shorts.
honestly, I was.
we'll figure out which ones you want later, but.
No, I'm on these.
I
you want
I
those?
Yeah.
these,
What
please.
size?
Oh,
I took a
I'll try
medium.
them on, I guess.
Yeah, we'll figure that out later.
Okay, yeah, we'll figure it out. Hey, this has
Well,
been
I'll try
kind of a
them on
long
too.
episode for us, isn't it?
Is it really?
Yeah, usually we stop at like an hour,
Damn.
but I feel like this could keep going for
I mean,
3 hours.
why did we go into like the whole Book of Mormon thing, guys?
Because we wanted to. We were
We didn't really
curious.
cover much
and I'm
of
sure the
anything
4
else.
people listening were curious too.
And what's funny is like, what's funny is usually like when people ask, I think it's like I call their bluff. Like, no, I really want to know. I'm like, no, trust me, you really don't want to know. But for this time, for some reason, I'm like, fine, I'll tell you.
Now you got it on record. You can just send people this link if they ask.
God.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, you want to know?
Just- here's my response.
Every day, go to 24 minutes and 36 seconds.
The Book of Mormon by Steve.
Book of Mormon by Steve. I think I'll call this episode the Book of Mormon. It's catching.
So, what else have you been up to? Was
Oh.
this just a segue to
Yeah.
talk about the shorts?
No, it
or
wasn't.
did you have other things
No,
going
I,
on fresh and exciting in your life?
So many things,
Talk to us about
Hit us.
that.
guys. So many things.
What's going on?
I got a girlfriend. You know, like I never
Nice.
have a girlfriend. You know me.
Mm-hmm.
I got a girlfriend.
Like I said, ladies, man. For how long?
Like a year.
Wow.
Nice.
Almost
Amazing.
a year. Yeah.
And her name? Can you say her name?
Diella.
Do you know her name? Diella.
Diella?
It's a cool name.
It's a beautiful name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's amazing. And
Cool.
I just moved into a new house that's like amazing. We have this beautiful backyard. Not
We-
her. I have a roommate.
Okay.
You don't live with
okay.
Diella.
No, not yet.
That's okay.
The timing was like almost there. What? Oh.
Well, that's my young cunt shirt.
Wait, what happened to your mouth here?
I go like this.
Oh, I love this.
So Steve calls me young cunt, and when I open for him, it's like in my bit, I talk about how my nickname is young cunt, and so now I'm gonna start selling shirts when I open the shows,
Amazing.
and that's the young cunt shirt.
Oh,
Young cunt. Yeah, I initially wanted it to be like a loud, like young cunt, but then it was
I
kind of
talked
like,
him out of
yeah,
it.
she was like, no, people aren't gonna want
I'm
that.
surprised
Make it
you
subtle.
were even
Make it subtle.
able to get away with cunt.
Oh, I mean, it's not like it goes through some legal system.
I think it does.
To print a shirt,
Cunt.
you can print a shirt that just says cunt if you want.
I mean, you legal. I don't know if you're allowed to say that word, but I'm
legally, you can say any word.
not cunt.
You're saying cunt. No, cunt. YouTube doesn't
you
like
just
cunt.
said it.
We might get a strike for all this cunt that we're saying right now.
YouTube doesn't like the word.
They don't like the word cunt, midget, or the N word, which I'm not even going to say now.
Yeah, you can't even
That's the
say
worst
that.
one. Yeah, you can't even throw that up as a word you can't
I
say.
don't. I don't think you can say the M word either.
The
But yeah,
N-word?
YouTube. Not on YouTube, you can.
M word.
That's what I'm saying. Midget.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I said. Cunt, midget, and the N word.
This is going downhill fast.
Oh God.
You can utter the sound of the M word. You shouldn't refer to someone as the M word, but it's not like the N word where you can't have a conversation
I don't
about
even feel
it.
comfortable saying the N word.
Just saying that the N word, or saying like the
I'm like, the word that starts with N. That I feel
you've
better.
moved it to that. It's like person of color versus a colored person. The word of N.
The word you're not allowed to say.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It's a tough one.
So we'll see. We're probably banned. We probably lost our channel now.
Yeah, this was a great last episode. Thanks for coming
Yeah,
on.
thanks for being our final guest.
I'm just saying the C word. Jacob loves that word because he's from Australia, so
Yeah.
he throws it around like there's no tomorrow. And I'm like, dude, you can't say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
It's a hard one to
With
swallow.
Steve O's podcast, there's only 2 episodes of the podcast that are like unmonetized on YouTube, and it's Jim Jeffries, the Australian comedian,
Yeah.
and this kid KSI, who's Australian, because they both said cunt.
Yeah.
You know?
No, you're not allowed to say that word, especially now.
No.
Why not now? I feel like now cunt is more acceptable than ever.
What do you mean? Why?
It's like soccer, you know, like it's just bigger
It's
than
like-
ever.
I thought you'd be like, because cunts are doing well right now, huh?
No,
And I
just
was
like,
"Oh."
European culture. It's like everyone knows, like it's not a big deal in Australia or in England. They say cunt all the time. So
But
we
why has
feel
that
silly
changed?
to
Ugh, it's still,
because
it just gave me
the world
chills.
is, you know, it's more globalization. Just like soccer being more popular.
I think the C word. I'm gonna let you. Here's the thing: if anyone could get away with it, I was like, I'm gonna let you. Like I have any. If anybody could, though, it'd be this motherfucker right here.
I'm not Australian. I just
No, I love that. I love that you're like, I haven't even been to Australia. Like,
I haven't even been to Australia. I've been to Heathrow Airport. That's it. I
But-
haven't been stepped into London. I had a layover.
but like, you have the sweetest heart,
Well, thank you.
and like, that's the thing. Like, I feel like if there were someone who could give cunt a chance, it'd be you.
And if I can't, then hey, no fault.
Hey. All right.
Anyway, well, okay.
So yeah, what
So
else?
you got
Sorry,
the
real
girlfriend.
quick.
You moved into this cool
I
house.
moved in
You're
a school
stoked.
house.
You're making
Didn't
shorts.
give up on your pandemic project.
I quit smoking.
Nice.
Cigarettes.
Yep.
Great.
Yeah, I'm still smoking weed. But yeah,
I kind of forgot you are a cigarette smoker. You weren't like a big smoker, were you?
totally
Totally
big. Not.
Oh, totally not. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, but I smoked like at least 4 to 5 a day.
okay. I mean, that's a smoker.
I was a smoker.
Yeah.
Straight up. But I would also like quit for like 6 months or whatever. So I'm quitting for like, it's been another 6 months.
It's been 6 months. It's about time to get.
No, I think it's
light
like
up
a
again.
year. Actually, I don't even know.
For you. Does she not smoke?
She
Diella?
smokes
Oh, wow.
here and there.
Here and there.
She wishes I did.
Ah.
That's why I feel like I've quit, because like
Someone, yeah.
she doesn't wish I did. She's glad I don't, but
It'd be easier if you did.
yeah, because she would like to share a smoke with me.
Right.
But I'm like, nope, not doing it. Yeah,
Good for you.
yeah.
Yeah, strength.
Strength.
Strength. Everything's going good at this store.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say the name one more time.
Sunbeam
Sunbeam
Vintage. Come on down. No, but
I'm
for real,
going
come
to.
on down.
Highland Park. Yeah, why haven't I never been
You
there?
got that's weird. Yeah, you should come down.
What days are you there on the weekends?
I'm there every weekend.
Every
I'm there
weekend.
Every weekend.
Paul's out of town the next like 3. I'll try to mosey over at some
Yeah,
point.
you should.
Hell yeah.
I'm
See you in your
there.
short shorts.
Basically, I'm only not there Thursdays and Fridays.
Okay.
And you kind of manage the store? Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah.
Good job, Steve.
And like honestly, if you come in and you're my friend or you're cool, like you're nice, or especially if you mention that you came from this podcast,
Free couch.
Something good.
Something. Maybe a sticker.
I love clothes more than
Free
I
advice.
Really
Free
should.
advice.
Free advice.
with
Purchase.
3%
Donation.
discount
3%. That's good.
on any item under $30.
Okay.
Love it. Live for a deal.
Hey, so go on down to Sunbeam Vintage in Highland Park,
Get some free
California.
advice.
Get some free advice and 3% off any purchase under $30.
That's right. You heard it. You heard it here.
You
What
heard
about
it here first.
if I'm trying to make an afternoon of it? What else can I do in Highland
Oh
Park?
my God,
What's your
there's
favorite
so much to
restaurant?
do.
What do I do?
See, now the podcast, now we're having fun.
Now
I don't
we're
even
talking.
know that neighborhood very well.
I tell you what,
Probably
you,
like it.
hey, you come down to Sunbeam, I'll give you a whole list of things to do.
He's the
I know
mayor
a
of Highland
great,
Park, this
I am
guy.
the mayor of Highland Park. I know. I'll tell you where to get coffee. I'll tell you where
Okay.
to get a great juice. Tell you what, no joke. If there's anybody watching this podcast,
It's a big if.
whoever I'm talking to right now, whoever I'm looking at, you come down to Sunbeam, I will give you a great little idea for a date. I'm going to tell you where to meet, where to get a juice, where to hit some shops, and where to go on a cute little hike with a pond overlooking the city. And then after that, I know where you can go get some tapas afterwards, along with some drinks. And then after that, there's a great little bar, all vinyl.
Shit.
That doesn't make you
All of
unhappy.
this
I don't know what would.
within walking distance. It's what I call the poor date.
The poor date. I
You get a
like
juice.
It's affordable.
Yep. You get a
Nice.
juice, a hike, tapas, and some drinks. You're
Sounds like
spending
a good
no more
afternoon.
than $150.
Per person?
The fact that
Total.
you think 150 is a cheap date
That was a
says
joke.
that you are
You
a
could-
good guy to date.
No, you could get away with honestly, that date you could get away with $60.
Nice.
Yeah. If you do the tapas. If you don't do the tapas, you're looking at 20.
Okay. Tapas that's your big. Well, but we got to get the tapas.
The tapas are glamorous. They're international, you know.
Right. It's like soccer
Finger
or
fooded.
cunt. We. When I get back from traveling, we'll take Steve's date.
Oh my God. Can I?
We may be, but
Can we
I
do
might
a
do it by
double date?
myself.
You should do it by yourself. You kind of
I will
scope
take
it
you
out
on
for
that
me.
date.
Oh, that'd be a fun double date.
Yeah.
You could be
That
our
would
tour
be
date.
fun.
Our
No,
tour
when
guide.
you're out of town, I'll take you on the date.
Oh, take my lady out on a nice.
You would
date.
love it.
I would. That sounds like
I will
my
take you
dream
on this
Saturday
date. You would love
afternoon.
it.
I could not think of a
I
better
swear
way
to
to
God,
spend a
it
Saturday.
can't be a Saturday because I'm at work. It'll have to be a
Friday
weekday.
or a Thursday.
Exactly.
Sweet.
Some days I don't work those
No,
days.
but for real though.
Well, I'm up for the double date too.
Oh, now you're feeling uncomfortable that it's
Well,
just
I
you
mean,
and I.
is
hanging
it
out.
just gonna be you and me for
Yeah,
real?
why not?
After I pictured you naked in the never.
Are you
never
feeling
do-
uncomfortable now? What are we talking? I love this. It's getting uncomfortable
Wear
now.
the shorts and let's do this.
All right.
I mean, I'm
How red
a
is
fan
my
of
face
it.
right now?
Don't not do
Super
it for
red.
me.
I love it. Okay, let's do it.
As long as Jacob's not there, because he's irresistible. Oh, just kidding.
that accent,
Jacob.
Jacob. No,
we gotta get Jacob on here.
no, we'll get Diella and you and I, the three of us.
All right.
You can be third wheel.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then
Third
scope
wheel.
it out for me, and if it's fun, I'll tag along next time. Fourth
Awesome.
wheel.
And then maybe we'll be graced with Paul's presence.
Yeah.
If he can
Yeah.
squeeze us into his
No,
schedule.
there's like this. I'm not kidding. Like this hike is real. It's like the perfect amount. I don't like a long hike. I'm not a hiker.
I'm
like-
surprised by your fashion choices.
I
Yeah,
have a
that jacket
friend-
looks
You
like
look
you
ready
walked
to
here
break
from Portland.
wind.
I like to casually walk, and that's not my joke. But because my friend, she has a book where she hiked the Sierras, she did the whole Pacific Rim Trail. What's it called? PCT.
PCT,
what-
Pacific
that-
Coast Trail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's she calls it casually walking. That's her whole thing. And this hike is just the right amount.
Cool.
It's you go up, it's just the right amount where you go up and you see a beautiful view. There's a swing overlooking the city.
I've always wondered where that swing is. I feel like I see that on the gram.
That's a different
sometimes.
swing.
Oh,
I know which swing you're talking about. That one, you're going to run into a bunch of basic,
yeah.
people that you're not going to want to
This
be at
is
that swing.
a less
don't say
known,
bitches anymore?
sneaky cool swing.
This swing's way cooler. It's way more
It's a
Now you're
hipster
talking.
swing. Steve,
yeah,
look it
I'm
up.
not
It's
gonna
a vintage hipster
Let me put
swing.
it this way: I'm not posting this anywhere. You got to come to Sunbeam and talk to me, and I'll give you the fucking deets and tell you don't tell anyone.
Secret swing.
Need
Secret
to
swing.
know
Wow.
only.
Maybe
Yeah.
this episode will be called The Secret
By
Swing.
word only. That's what it is. You want to know the inside scoop? You got to come in and talk to me. For real.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of titles of the video. Should be called He's Mormon.
He's Mormon.
He's a Mormon. That's kind of funny. Or The Secret Swing.
The Book of Mormon? No.
The Book of Mormon. I'm not.
It's
I'm
been
less.
there, done there.
I'm not going to
We're
click on
get
that.
sued,
He's Mormon. He was Mormon. He was Mormon.
Once a Mormon, always a Mormon.
What's funny is I thought we were going to talk about, I thought for sure you would bring up the viral video.
Didn't even come up. I mean,
We watched it before you got here. Though.
yeah. Janelyn was here,
What?
and we talked about it. You should watch the Janelyn episode.
Oh, no.
She was here a few weeks ago.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
How's she doing?
Good.
I love Janelyn.
Yeah.
Sweetheart.
Sweetheart. No, she's good. And so we were talking, JC was here too when we did a podcast together, and Janelyn's boyfriend, John, who's super cool guitar player. But we were talking about how we all.
He's such a
course.
hands guy.
Oh, of course. Well, we were talking about how
Of
we all.
course, she would end up with a guy that plays guitar.
And he's English or he's Scottish.
Scottish.
He's
Oh, yeah.
Scottish.
He's super cool, super cool.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, we were talking about like how we all know each other, which really
Yeah.
came down to your viral video.
Right.
Because that's what made you go to Sayulita, which is what made everyone meet
and
Janelin.
I met Janelin at a bar.
She told us the story.
She did?
Yeah. You should watch it.
Oh, wow.
It's very disparaging.
Really?
No, I'm just
Of me?
kidding. No, not at all. No,
sweet.
but you should watch it. Yeah, we
And that video,
We need the
by
numbers.
the way, is so funny. Like, you just do not crack at all.
Yeah, because honestly, I viewed it as this is an opportunity to just be in character and roll with it.
So, for people who don't know, you were on a game show. What was the game show called?
let's make a deal.
Yes, thank you.
Let's Make a Deal. Hosted by?
Wayne Brady.
Good job. You're on it. Way to be on it.
Thank you.
You were filming, and they said, Wayne says, I need a couple. I need a couple. So then they what? Pick
No. Like, they just picked us. They didn't say we need a couple.
No, he does say, we're looking for a couple.
Really?
Which I think maybe is what set, maybe that was what set you off.
But
and
they
it
probably
was a
told you
bit.
before they
Let
come
me-
back from commercial, like, you're next.
Let me back up for a minute.
Okay.
I feel like everybody misses this point. It all comes down to this. The episode was prom themed.
Okay.
Everybody was dressed up as if they were going to prom.
You
What do you
guys-
do when you go to prom? You go as a couple. That's what you do. That's what we did. She's like, let's go as a couple. I don't know why I'm all...
That's what
like
you do.
super-
That's what we did. What the fuck you want from me?
I got super defensive. Like, I don't know where that came from.
Okay.
Well, I would, if she treated me the way she treated you, I'd be defensive too.
Well, so you guys weren't actually dating. So Wayne Brady's like, how long you been dating? And
You say 6
You say
months.
6 months. She
Because I wasn't going to be like, oh, well,
because
actually...
you yes anded him.
Yeah, exactly.
And she's like, no. She's saying the truth. Like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
We're just friends.
Insert
And,
the
and then
nervous
you,
laughter.
Thought it would be funny
Double down.
to be like, can we not talk about this in front of everyone? Because I just thought it'd be funny to act like hurt.
But then there's
And I
a
didn't-
moment where you're
and
like,
here's the thing
they
is, like,
believed me.
I didn't actually think that, like, I was just being funny. Like, I didn't think that, like,
Right. You
'cause
thought
she-
it would read as sarcastic. Everyone would know you were joking.
at least the first part.
Right.
And then she's like, no, I'm single, guys, I'm single. And then I was like, what the fuck?
yeah.
So I was like, damn, like, you're really committing to this.
Right.
And I thought it'd be funny to stay in character and be like, what the fuck? Like,
But did you also realize, like, oh, they don't think I'm joking, like, you know, 'cause,
Yeah.
like when you say, like, can we talk about this somewhere else, like, people don't go like, so anyway, like,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
like,
You could see
everyone's
that
like,
people
what?
were starting to get concerned. They were like, are
because-
they,
and
aren't they?
And here's the thing, because it definitely Jesse and I, the energy that we have together, people assume that we're like together because we're like, we you know what I mean? We're like fun, and like people just assume, and that's always the case when two people that are of around the same age, like you go with your sister to have lunch, everyone's assuming it's your girlfriend.
Right. You're two friends of opposite sex, similar age.
That's
people
what
are
people
going to
think.
assume you're dating. Yeah. It is so funny. It's like,
she really made a point to ensure that everybody
yeah.
knew that
I'm
you guys
single.
were
That's the
together, and
funniest.
that it was a little
I'm single.
thirsty. It was a little thirsty.
It was so thirsty.
It was.
It was like, damn.
It was like she just wouldn't even go along with him for a minute.
right. She was like, no.
I insist, God damn it!
Yeah.
I'm single, guys. I'm single. Like, it was
She
really,
kept saying,
literally.
she was like jumping up
So
and
what,
down.
when was the moment it like sort of caught fire? Like that night when it aired, was it big? You know,
we went
like,
on the show for, and afterwards we were like, that was funny. I wouldn't be surprised if that went viral, joking around. Like, I could see that going viral, but not really thinking anything of it. And then I kind of like totally forgot about it. And then one day, I knew it was going to be airing pretty soon. And then probably like 3 days before it was supposed to air, it went viral. Or like a day before it was supposed to air. So somebody on the cutting floor
oh,
sent it to like
they leaked it.
some viral video
Like
person.
Unilad or something.
They leaked
like
it. They leaked it before it actually came out.
Oh,
Yeah,
brilliant. So it was like a marketing thing.
I guess. I wouldn't be surprised if the people in those in those offices have people that do that. They're like, oh, this is a funny video. Try to get this out, make this viral. Because it makes...
Yeah, but it's weird to do
Yeah.
it before it comes out, you know, because you would want it to seem like genuine that like, oh, this aired and
But
now
maybe the
everyone's talking
person
about it and it went
leaking
viral.
it gets some sort of kickback. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they sold
I didn't
it.
get a fucking dime.
Nothing.
Didn't
But
get
you got a trip to
dime, didn't get a
Sayulita.
date out of
I
it.
did get a trip to Sayulita.
That's
that
pretty
was
good.
great. That was fun. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
And then you won Wipeout too.
Oh, and then I went on another
You were
game
on
show.
Wipeout too?
Yeah. No, not Wipeout. I was on. I can't even think of the name.
But it's kind of like Wipeout, no?
Yes, it's just like Wipeout. It's Cannonball.
Cannonball.
Okay,
and
so
you know,
it was
they
like
say like
generic Wipeout.
It's like the safe version of Wipeout, honestly.
Okay.
like less
Yeah.
injury.
I don't know.
Prone.
I mean,
Injury
on
prone.
ours, one guy he got fucking fucked up and had to get taken away in an ambulance.
Shit. Fucked up how? Like
Uh-oh.
knocked out?
No, he like tore a ligament or like something. I'm not sure exactly. They wouldn't let us know. The ambulance took him away and they're like, he's fine. We're like,
They're
wait.
like,
They're like, look
Throwing
over
the-
here. There's like a
Yes.
squeaky
No,
toy, you
seriously.
know, like over here. Bring
No,
the
but
sexy
seriously,
mouse
they-
back.
they
HIPAA
did.
manual.
And I was deeply concerned. I was like, oh,
Like, is Bruce okay?
no. I was like, am I going to be okay?
So, you know, they on those shows, it's
And then
always like,
he was pissed because then when we did like, when they aired it, we all like met up to go watch it.
he didn't call him.
No, they didn't show him at all. Oh. Completely cut. And this is the guy that like
He gave his blood,
this
sweat,
is the
and
guy.
tears.
I don't want to. I hope you don't record this, but this is the guy that like.
We are recording this. What are you talking about?
I hope you don't record this.
This is the guy.
say
He
into
was
the
nice.
microphone.
Whatever. I don't care. Record it.
We've been recording. It's a
And I just pretend like you're not recording. This is the guy that like was reading a book that was like something about gaining influencers or becoming an influencer or something. I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, okay.
I secretly took a photo of him because I was like, oh my God, really? Like, there are these people that read these books and like really want to. But he was
Influence people.
pissed.
Yeah, was it how to win friends and
pissed.
influence people or how
No,
to be an
no.
influencer?
No, it
It's
was
a-
not Dale Carnegie.
Okay, because that's coming. On those shows, it's always like Susie, the ballerina, John, the mechanic. You were
Yeah.
Steve,
Oh, I was Steve, the vintage guy.
the
Yeah.
vintage guy.
Yeah, I was the vintage guy.
That's pretty
Love it.
cool.
Yeah.
So they'd be like, "Here comes Steve."
And
like
they-
he's probably gonna reupholster this
What
bungee
shorts
jump right
did
now.
you wear?
No, they loved my mustache. They were like, "Can you do a thing with the mustache?" Like they loved it. Like everything was about the mustache. I'm like, "What else do you want me to say about the mustache?"
What shorts did you wear?
Some vintage shorts. This is before Valley Heat.
Okay.
Oh
And-
man, when I think back, and actually that was part of what got me into the whole thing. To be honest, I started looking up shorts.
Wow.
I started
Because you
looking up
wanted to
vintage
look
shorts.
good running
No, like because they were
to
like,
wipe out.
this is what's funny is they're like, can you do you have an outfit like a shirt and shorts and everything? And me, I was like, what? Yeah, totally. So I like went through my wardrobe and found like a vintage Hawaiian shirt and all these things. And then they were like, can you wear that like when you're doing the thing? And everyone else showed up with whatever. And they're like, they just gave them clothes, like just whatever. And I was like,
Wear my clothes.
so this is the thing is they gave me a shirt. Sorry, back up. I wore my shirt, a Hawaiian shirt. And on the very first thing that I did, I go down this water slide and I launch off it and I hit this, because you're supposed to hit this like big target, and I hit it. And then I come out and then I'm in front with the announcer and they're like, woo! And I'm like, yeah. And then I get off and I go back behind stage and I'm like, man, that was crazy. And this girl's like, whoa, what happened to your armpits? And I was like, what? And I looked down and I was like, oh. And they were just completely ripped out. Both of my armpits were completely ripped out. And they're like, oh yeah, you got to wear that shirt the rest of the show. Because we have to have
Or do the slide again.
because like we have to have continuity. But it was filmed in like 5 days or whatever.
Oh my
So I had to
God.
bring back the same shirt and put it on.
And not put your arms up.
No, just I was like, fuck it. I was like, yeah, I'm the guy with the ripped out armpits.
Nice.
But yeah, so I
What was
had,
the final like it's like some Ninja Warrior shit, kind of. You got to run through like an obstacle course.
Yeah, you like
yeah.
Yeah, you like.
So was the sorry,
Ninja Warrior.
was the last course like really hard? You know, like
Yeah, so
because you're not unathletic, but it's not like you're like a gymnast or anything.
honestly, the show was it was a little.
Were you the most?
I won
in the best
$10,000.
shape?
What?
It's amazing.
I won $10,000.
Damn.
Yeah. No, I was not in great shape, but I knew I was going to win because I'm freakishly good at that kind of thing. Like if I were on Jackass as an example, I'm good at like sliding down shit and landing. I don't know why.
You know how to fall. Did you
tuck and
skateboard a lot?
roll.
Exactly. I skateboarded, surfed.
You know how to fall.
I know how to fall and like slide around and
Okay.
be a dumb shit. And like I'm not scared. You know?
Right.
So I'm a bit of a daredevil.
Just went for it.
So yeah, like it was so much fun. Like for me, I was just having fun. I was almost like I don't want to like I just was kind of like almost bored. Like it wasn't like if anything, I felt bad because I felt like the people that were doing it were actually scared, so they were probably better actors than me. They weren't acting. They're like, oh, God. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm just trying to win. I'm fucking winning this thing. Like I don't care. I was like, I'm gonna win. And like the last thing was you had to slide down this slide and launch off, and like whoever got the highest and the furthest won. So I was slathering up my legs with suntan lotion so that I could be slick.
Smart.
I was slicking it up.
And you won that part.
And I was drinking bottle of water after bottle of water because I noticed that like the heavier people were going further.
Wow.
So I'm like, wait, you got to be heavy. So I got super heavy I literally was going to throw up water.
Wow.
And I was, the amount of suntan lotion I put on myself to be slick was ridiculous. People were laughing at me. I'm like, I'm winning this thing. And I just kept like putting it on me like everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well done, Steve.
Joke's on them.
I barely won though. It wasn't easy. Yeah. Anyway.
That's amazing.
Well
What is your obsession with game shows?
I know, right? I don't know how that happened. And then I met other people. I met one other person that does game shows. Oh. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, it's like a thing. Like go on game shows.
Have you applied for any others?
Then they're like, wait, you're Steve Heiss? Like we talk about you. You know, like you're like, no.
Yeah, they're like, oh my God,
I read an
Cannonball
article about
episode
you.
3. Yeah. No, I should though. I should do game shows because like, why not?
You should do more. Yeah.
Win some money.
Have some
And
fun.
next time, you'll have Valley Heat to
yeah,
rep.
rep your
To
shit.
rep. You're right. Oh my God.
You'll run harder.
For Valley Heat.
Imagine if you were wearing Valley Heat shorts, slipping up that fucking slide,
Slipping, sliding around.
slipping and sliding.
Flipper flapping.
Yeah,
I
In
can
some
see.
Valley
I
Heat.
can see it now.
I sure can. I'm dying to. All right. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
Now it's really long. See,
Guys,
this was the
sorry.
time after you are ready to say goodbye. You know, I started to kind of say goodbye, and then we stayed on for like 30 more
Then
minutes,
we refused.
and we would have missed all of that.
Yeah, you're right. No, I wanted to talk about all that. I wanted to talk about my game show career.
Yeah.
We made some progress. We almost got stuck in that religious rut,
Oh,
but
God.
we
That was-
persevered.
You can edit all of that out.
I'm
the
keeping
religious
it. I
stuff.
like it. I don't edit anything out except for like things that people
Except
wish.
for when we talk shit.
Yeah, if we talk too much shit,
Oh, yeah.
or if someone says the N word.
There should be a whole collection of talking shit edits
Yeah.
from all the podcasts that are on the
I
dark
think
web.
bloopers too
Oh,
would be fun.
No, talking
but
shit.
the whole
That's
podcast
true.
is a blooper. You know, like that's the beauty of the podcast. You're never like saying the wrong line, and then you laugh. That's the
Oh,
show.
I say things wrong all the
but
time.
that is the show. Like that's what people are here for. All
Do you
right.
ever like? Sorry, real quick. Do you ever like have questions prepared and like
Not
No.
a once. Not a one time.
like on purpose?
I mean, I got no. I guess no.
No.
I've only
on
done that when I
purpose, kinda.
didn't know the guest at all. I would be like thinking, at least think of like one or two things to ask.
Like you researched them?
Kind of, yeah, on Instagram.
Did
just
you
a
guys
quick
research
search.
me?
No.
I didn't.
I mean, I've
'Cause
been
know-
researching you for
Because we
years.
met before and I already knew you, so I knew it would be fine to talk to you. I knew we'd figure it out.
Was that not important enough to research?
I don't think I've researched anyone.
That's just not our style. Don't be offended.
But it's also like, because I do Steve's podcast too, and sometimes we research the guests a lot. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it's also cool to not know.
Right.
Because then you're genuinely asking like questions that you're curious about.
Basically,
and like the audience didn't research the guest. That's why they're listening to the podcast.
Basically, what you're doing is you like a podcast to me is the same as going on a date.
Yeah.
You don't want to over-rehearse, that's for sure.
Or over research.
Right,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah, it takes the romance right out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd rather come in here curious, but I don't even know what's a good source for research about you anyway, other than knowing you for 10 years.
That would be funny if you were like, has it been that long?
No.
Yeah.
Probably like 8, 7 or 8.
Oh, well, then this is fucking bullshit.
Forget it. I
All
thought
right.
this was a decade. Anyway, Steve
love you,
Heiss,
Paul.
ladies and gentlemen. I love
Thank
you
you.
too.
I love you both. I'm so
Thanks.
happy that
I hope
Paul's
you
in
guys
love. And
go on your date.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it on the show.
Yeah,
That'll
we'll
be
report
fun.
back.
All right, Valley Heat, everybody.
Yeah, Valley
Heat official on
Yep,
Instagram.
right here.
And
Wait.
get your Young
No,
Cunt
that-
shirts.
Young Cunt.
Come see Steve-O's Bucket List on tour. And YouTube, sorry for all the cunts.
Yeah,
and
sorry, YouTube.
Valley Heat in the house.
Woo, woo.
All right. Preach.
Nice.